Alright everyone, well, let's finally wrap up this end of 2023 marathon. Looking ahead into the year 2024 once again, and this time with video games. Yes, my most anticipated video games, top 10 to be exact, of what I'm looking forward to for next year. And, well, a few things have to be established, and you probably already know. If not, here it is. Number one, release dates, especially for video games, are always subject to change. And don't be surprised if you see video games that I anticipated over the last couple of years to be on this list. And, well, they could be postponed to another year or the year after that. But that's never a bad thing because, well, the more time and effort they put into it, the better it will be. I mean, isn't it better to do that than rush the game into stores and, make it more playable? And also, Grand Theft Auto 6. Yes, I've seen the teaser trailer. The game looks awesome after all the years and more than a decade of waiting and anticipation for it. I'm super hyped. But it's not going to be on this list because it's not coming out until 2025. So it'll be worth the wait, trust me. If it's taken this long, it's got to be great. But it's not going to be on this list. Here's my list, starting with number 10. Marvel's Wolverine and Jurassic Park Survival. Yeah, this is highly unusual for me to do in this type of event, but I did this mainly for number one reason. Yes, these games look awesome, but the teaser trailers for them, which look great, just released recently. The Jurassic Park Survival game looks fantastic, and it was first showcased at the Gaming Awards, and I gotta say, I'm super hyped being a huge Jurassic Park fan. I mean, surviving on Jurassic Park Isla Nublar, trying to get away from dinosaurs when you're on your own. I mean, it looks suspenseful, scary, but cool. And on PlayStation 5, I'm sure it'll really look amazing with its type of graphics and capabilities. And the Wolverine game, well, doesn't really show a lot, just Wolverine, and it's also made by Insomniac Games, who are famous for the awesome Spider-Man games. So, you can't go wrong there, and I have full faith in them. But again, I don't think that either one of these games, being that there's no official release date, and don't get me wrong, they probably might release in 2024, but I highly doubt, and that's why I put them both at this spot, high up on this list, because I don't think they're going to release this year. So don't be surprised if they do, but don't be surprised if they don't. But I'm anticipating them, so that sort of counts. It's not like Grand Theft Auto 6 where it said it's releasing in 2025. Again, there's no official release date, and it's always subject to change, and, well, the wait'll be worth it right there. So don't let us down for either one. Number 9, South Park Snow Day. Yep, that's right. Another South Park game is on the horizon after the last two South Park games, which finally prove that you can make good ones. The awesome Stick of Truth and the awesome Fractured But Whole sequel. Because before that, we got nothing but crap. And though I am anticipating this one, and this is why it's this low on the list, being that I'm a fan of the show, the dirty jokes and everything like that, I mean, it's what you come to expect out of these games, which I'm hoping is faithful to the show, and hopefully a fun game. I'm a little iffy on the developer, because this time around it's not Ubisoft, but instead it's a different developer. And also the animation style is a little more three-dimensional looking than it was in the previous two games, which was obviously much more true to the show it's based on. So that has me a little bit iffy. I'm just hoping all this worrying is for nothing, and that this company can give us just as good of a game as these two. Don't have my expectations high, but let's just hope it's, as Cartman would say, a sweet game. Number 8, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Yep, the adventurer himself is back in a side-scrolling action-packed adventure, and judging by the trailers, this one looks pretty damn good with some pretty cool looking 3D effects, and being that, of course, this was announced at the latest Nintendo Direct, doesn't mean it's specifically a Nintendo exclusive. No, this is made by Ubisoft, who makes games for multiple consoles, and this one is just that. It's also going to be released on the PlayStation, Xbox, and so forth, and I think the Switch will be able to handle these types of graphics, judging by the trailers at least. I always love these kind of puzzle-solving, action-adventure, Zelda, Metroid-like games with some booby traps and stuff like that. And yeah, I did sort of enjoy the movie, The Sands of Time, despite the criticisms it got. It was good cheesy fun. That's the best I'll put it. While the NES game didn't really suck me in that much, it wasn't until, of course, the Super Nintendo sequel that got me into this franchise, even though it was only 2D. And, of course, it made its transition into 3D pretty smoothly. And this one, as you know, is going to be, as I said, a 2D side-scroller with some incredible-looking 3D graphics. So, I'm hoping this Prince can still kick some ass and give us an awesome action-packed adventure in the desert. Number 7. The Plucky Squire. Yeah, a rather obscure-sounding name for a rather obscure-looking one, to be exact. It's about, well, this cartoonish knight named Jot, who, looking for adventure inside of a book, makes his way outside and into the real world and have to solve their way through puzzles and action-adventure type of game. Almost like Legend of Zelda, judging by the trailer and judging by the sound of the gameplay mechanics, and, well, you can't go wrong here with this one. This is not only going to be released on Nintendo Switch, but it's also going to be released on Xbox and PlayStation and Steam as well. So it's obviously going to be a multiple console release, being that it's not made by Nintendo. It is instead going to be made by an indie company called Evolver Digital, which, despite that, there's been plenty of great indie games, and I'm hoping this one is no exception, and I'm hoping especially it works out great on the Nintendo Switch, which I'm sure will be able to handle these type of animated graphics. It is instead going to be made, and I'm sure it'll look great on the home consoles and Steam as well. But mostly, I'm looking for a great action-packed puzzle adventure game to be able to play at home and take on the go. So don't let us down. Number 6. Metroid Prime 4. Yep. As I mentioned, expect ones to be on this list that were on past lists, and this one is one of those, and I'm not 100% sure if we're going to get it this year, or if we're going to get the other 2 Metroid Prime games re-released before this one. Who knows? But I'm hoping this one maybe is finally put into production. After all, it took many years to finally get Metroid Dread. That saw the light of day, and it was great. So I'm hoping for the same out of this one. It would be great if we get it this year, but again, it'll be worth the wait, trust me. Like any other great Nintendo game that took forever to release, patience is a virtue, because you can't rush perfection. Number 5. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Yet another one postponed from last year, and I'm hoping for the sake this means that it'll actually be worth the wait, and because it is coming out on February 2nd as far as we know. Obviously release dates are subject to change, but otherwise, yeah. Playing as the Suicide Squad, which looks more like the newer film that came out in 2021, judging by the cover and the trailers and everything like that, and being made by Rocksteady Studios. I'm hoping it's more like the Arkham games and less like Gotham Knights. Not that that game was terrible, but I think we can all agree it was not what it was cracked up to be for most fans, including myself, who were highly anticipating it as a direct sequel with Batman being killed off. Which, ironically, you probably all heard the voice of Batman himself, Kevin Conroy, unfortunately passed away due to cancer. And also, Rocksteady, like Arkham Origins, had nothing to do with this game as well. But otherwise, yeah, let's hope for some action, some violence, some good stuff, and to be almost as good as the Arkham trilogy. Maybe better. Either way, don't let us down, Rocksteady. Number 4. Princess Peach Showtime. Yeah, that's right. Princess Peach. When was the last and only time she ever got a game? Well, you probably remember or you probably don't. I did a review on it for the Nintendo DS several years ago called Super Princess Peach. It was an interesting and ambitious concept, but it could have been better. It was good, not great. And this one, it looks like an ambitious concept too as well, and I'm hoping it at least does better. You know, it looks like it's going to make Princess Peach look like a real badass and go on a butt-kicking action-adventure type of game with a rather seemingly gimmicky concept, but let's just hope my worries are for nothing. I mean, not that I have anything against Princess Peach. I think she's an awesome character. She was awesome in the new film by Illumination, and let's just hope she can be just as butt-kickingly awesome as possible in this one. So, maybe this can turn a new tide for Nintendo and give us something awesome for the Switch, right? Obviously, it's going to be only a Switch exclusive. Because, well, all the other Nintendo consoles, they don't make any more new games, sadly. But Yeah, the Switch will be at the top of its game if this one does great, because it's already had a lot of hits this year. So let's hope for the best out of this one too as well. Number 3, Penny's Big Breakaway. Yet another obscure sounding title with a rather obscure sounding type of gaming concept with a weird sounding plot, but an awesome looking platforming adventure game. As soon as I saw the trailer for this one, I immediately got hooked on it because I love these type of platforming adventure games. I've played plenty of weird ones, but come on, they're so much fun. I mean, they're colorful, they're addicting, and it just has so much of a fun gameplay concept that keeps you coming back and wanting to play it until you beat it all the way through. And I'm hoping this one does just that. I love these. Puzzles, side quests. Yeah, it's a little strange looking, but I'm sure we can all agree this one's going to be great. Again, it's going to be a multi-console release. Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, which I'm hoping does great with this one. With this type of animation, we can only hope that this one makes a big breakaway with a lot of fun. Number 2, Skull and Bones. Do I have to say much more? Yeah, go ahead. Throw all your memes all you want to. I've seen plenty of them when it came to this game. But to answer your question simply, as far as I know, it's finally releasing in February 16th of 2024. Thank God. I mean, I can't even tell you how long I've waited for this one. And, well, I didn't grow impatient being that I had plenty other great games to keep me busy while I waited. And, well, I'm just really hoping this one, as I said before many times, doesn't end up like Aliens Colonial Marines or like Duke Nukem Forever, where those games took forever and ended up sucking balls. No, I'm hoping this one does just as good as Assassin's Creed Black Flag. You know, being that, of course, they both have to do with pirates. So, let's hope this one is here to stay on board and doesn't have to walk the plank. Because you'd be cursed, Ubisoft, if you screw this one up. That's right, you'd be walking the plank. I just hope this one is you're good, or you're great, to be exact. I hope this one is the real booty to wait for, Ubisoft. Because I know they've been a little hit and miss with some franchises, including the Assassin's Creed series, but they've had some great ones, and I did enjoy the hell out of Black Flag. I mean, I was just replaying that game on my Switch just to keep myself busy waiting for this one, to try to familiarize myself with the concept, which I know is probably going to be different. You know, it's going to have online multiplayer, but again, I really hope this is worth all the years of waiting. So, again, don't ye be letting us down, Ubisoft, or you walk the plank. And the number 1 game that I'm anticipating for in 2024 is Contra Operation Galuga. Not sure what's up with the title name of that, but hey, after seeing the trailer for this game, and after some of the rather disappointing entries in the series, especially when it made its leap into 3D, which we can all agree was not what the series was made for. Now, this series was simply made to be in 2D. A 2D running, gunning, shooting type of game where you shoot the shit out of aliens with some difficulty and frustration. But hey, beating the game was just half the fun, and it was worth the challenge and frustration to try to show that you can beat this kind of franchise, and to show what a badass you are, to run and gun them and show those aliens who's boss, to beat boss fights, just shooting the shit out of enemies that come at you. Yeah, again, it's a hard franchise, but I've played plenty of hard games, and this one is, well, come on, it's satisfying as ever. Whether you're playing 1 player, 2 players, and this game is going to have just that. Not only 2-player co-op, but also up to 4 players. Back to 2D the way it should be, with some 3D elements, almost similar to Contra 4, which was a great revisit to this franchise, a great way to bring it back to its full glory, and I'm hoping that this one does just that. It's going to be released on multiple consoles, from the PlayStations to the Xboxes, and of course the Nintendo Switch, which you can bet your ass is the one I'm going to be going for, because you know me, I'd love to take this kind of game on the go, as well as play it at home. WayForward, who did of course Contra 4 on the Nintendo DS, which was awesome. I can only hope for the sake this one's going to be just as great, if not even better. So, that about wraps up my list for what I'm hoping is great for 2024, gaming-wise, that is. Happy New Year, and hope for the sake, it's a great one. Happy gaming.